Good morning, boys and girls. It's Fog's World. This is episode 66, and we're still dinking around with the chicken factory, unfortunately. Well, last time we built this nicely compact little chicken factory, and all was well except, well, that it didn't work as well as I'd hoped it would. We ran into a few problems. Some of the problems included things like chickens suffocating in the walls, and that led to raw meat cycling through the machine and gumming up the works, and we had chickens glitching through the floors of the hoppers and occasionally managing to escape, and it just wasn't as nice and tidy as I would have liked. So yeah, we're gonna rebuild this thing. I gave it a lot of thought between the last episode and this one. Built a lot of prototypes, played around with it a lot, and I finally come up with a design that I really like, that I think is going to work pretty well. Has a few little tricky little elements to it that hopefully will work right in a survival world and as opposed to in a creative world, but we'll see. We'll see. We're going to give it a go. One of the things that I considered doing was changing all this so that these hoppers would feed into a chest instead of into a couple of filters, and then filtering just the eggs out of the chest and then cycling the eggs back in. And that worked, except it didn't solve the other problems of things suffocating and other stuff like that. So no, I think it's time for a complete redesign. So let's go ahead and take all of this out and make room for a brand new chicken design. Now, the new design that I have in mind is a little bit bigger. It's mostly has mostly a 3x3 footprint, and it is 12 high. It is not a perfect 3x3 footprint. It is actually a 3x4, but it's only just barely a 3x4, as you'll see. So yeah, if I'm honest, it's not quite 3x3, not quite, but it's pretty close. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Let me get rid of stuff in this chest that I don't need to be carrying around with me. I don't need that. Don't need any repeaters for this design, or lava buckets, or ladders, or jack-o'-lanterns. Don't need any droppers. I do need the chest. I think we got most. Let's see, I don't need the cooked chicken. And I certainly don't need feathers. In fact, I don't need any feathers at all. Feathers are just not necessary, people. So let's see. I do need this stuff. Well, except for that stone brick stairs. I don't need that. I don't know why that was there. Alright, so I have all the materials that I should need, and then some. Actually, I don't really need. I don't need this much of most of that stuff. But let's get going. Let's get going. Oh, I don't need that. And let's see. So we're going to start with the chest there. This chest, ooh, hello. I thought I was done. Let's finish it. Come on. Jack-o'-lantern, where'd you go? Where'd my jack-o'-lantern go? That's funny. I saw it break. Where did it go? Weird. Huh. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so this chest, whoops, not there. This chest is going to be where our fried chicken's going to end up, right there. And what we're going to do this time, we're going to change the design. We're going to use a furnace this time. We're going to cook our fried chicken. And what we're going to do is we're going to load fuel in that chest there. In this case, we've got a whole bunch of blaze rods that we can use. So we'll go ahead and transfer those over right now. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, are aware that if you put a hopper pointing into the side of a furnace like this, that it will route everything to the bottom slot there. So this becomes our fuel. You can use any fuel you want. You don't have to use blaze rods. I'm using blaze rods because I have a blaze farm, and it gives me lots of blaze rods, and blaze rods are a very efficient way to cook things. So that's why I'm using blaze rods. but you could use anything. Doesn't have to be that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to build, whoops, 2 hoppers up like that, and this is going to become a sorter, which we're going to use to pull out chicken from a chest. We're going to pull out raw chicken from a chest using this sorter. And let's see, I need to put, you don't need to use a piece of glowstone here, but I want a little more. I want to make sure there's enough light here so that things don't spawn. That, by the way, is the only torch in this whole design, and this is the only redstone dust in this whole design as well. So, kind of nifty there. It's really, this is actually really light on resources. It's not quite as tight and compact as I might like, but it's pretty good. Okay, so now we have a sorting system. Up on top of this, let's put a chest. This chest is going to eventually hold, this is going to hold our feathers, and it's also going to hold our uncooked raw chicken until it gets pulled down by this sorter and into our cooker down there. So let's go ahead and set this up. All we need to do is put 4 of any kind of item there and a full stack of raw chicken there. Whoops, I did that backwards. There we go. Full stack of raw chicken in the front, not the back. Duh. And then we put a bunch of raw chicken here. And you can see it already has pulled one of those guys down. I'm going to pull that out just so that we can keep testing it. So if I put this guy up here, it should go through and down into here. And there you go, it does. Okay, I'm going to hold on to that chicken so that I can keep testing later. Alright, so now we have our cooker. That's done. So next we need to build our slaughterhouse, our chicken hatchery and slaughterhouse. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the slaughterhouse part. Now this is a little bit tricky. What we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of the fact that chickens, let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's do it this way, like that. Can I jump up there, please? Oh, barely. Oh, good. How nice. We're going to take advantage of the fact that chickens, if they have nowhere to go, they should stay put. This is the tricky part, though. So we got that guy there. Oh, I needed another one of those, don't I? No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm confused. I don't need another one of those. I need a dispenser, and this dispenser goes right. Oh, come on, right there, facing down. Oh, perfect. Excellent. And, just as a temporary, let's see, how do I, let's see, like that. Is that right? Yeah, but now I can't get up there anymore, so let's do this. Ah, darn it. Okay, have to do it this way. There we go. Geronimo. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, and boom. So what this is going to do is this dispenser is going to hatch chickens down on top of that slab down there. And chicks are half-height mobs, so they won't suffocate. But when they grow to full height, then they will suffocate. Now, this all depends on one very important thing, and that is that if we hatch the chickens dead center, right below us, then they will not move because there's nowhere for them to go. And since this thing is evenly distributed all around here, they should have no incentive to wander at all, so they should stand perfectly still. Now, I'm going to add some glass panes here. These are just for looks. This has nothing to do with the build itself. It's not mechanically part of the build. I just think it looks good, so that's why I'm putting that there. Right. Now the next thing I want to do, this is kind of an optional step, but I want to do this. I'm going to put a block there with a lever on it. And the purpose of the block with the lever is so that I can disable this hopper if I want to. And that's going to allow me to use this as an egg producer if I ever decide I want some eggs. Because what we're going to do here is we're going to build a chicken hatchery up above here with full-grown chickens that are going to lay eggs, which are going to fall into this hopper here. So let's get this going. We need a half slab here, right there, and here we go, glass there, and for now we'll put some glass there. We need a dispenser facing downward. Right. Oh, perfect. Perfect! Yes! And give me some more glass. Boom. And now we need, yes, we need this. Oh, I nearly forgot. I need to put a top slab right there. Now the purpose of the top slab is so that when this dispenser fires eggs, it's going to fire them straight down into the slab, which is going to cause the eggs to immediately burst. And that means that our our little chicks are going to land dead center right in that block, and they'll have no incentive to walk around again. That's very important. We do not want these guys to walk anywhere. It would be very bad. And let's get you. Whoops, what am I doing? Right there, thank you very much. And another comparator there. And we don't actually need this piece of glass. We do, however, need a lever right there. This becomes our chicken gun for filling our egg layers up at the top. I think this is done with one minor exception, and the minor exception is that we're going to have to do something. Let's see, can I put a torch there? I can put a torch there. Do I want a torch? Do I want a bit of glowstone? I think I'm just going to do a torch. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a torch. I just want to make sure that nothing spawns up here. I can't remember if mobs will spawn on top of a dispenser. I think they will. I'm not positive about that, but I kind of think they will. Okay, so there is the completed fried chicken machine right there. You can see that it's simple 3x3 footprint with a couple exceptions. We got a little bit sticking out the back there that makes it a 3x4. But I can live with that. Let's see, do I have... Yeah, I got some other... Let's see. One other little thing I want to do here. A little final finishing touch. I want to put a lamp right there. This lamp is going to turn off whenever that torch flashes off. So that means whenever there's raw meat come feeding down through the system, that should flash off. Okay, so let's get rid of a bunch of this stuff, and let's go and carry some eggs up to the top and give this thing a try. What am I missing? No, we're good. We're good. So let's go fill ourselves up with eggs. Right. And we'll climb up here. Hopefully this is far enough away from this tree that when I grow another tree, and because eventually I'll cut this tree down for the wood, and hopefully when it grows another, none of these branches will intrude over into this build. I think we're safe. Ooh, fingers crossed, huh? Okay, now like I said, this whole build depends on nothing disturbing these chickens. If anything messes up with it, oops, you know what I forgot to do? Silly me. I want some more glass panes, please. Thank you. And while I'm down here, we'll grab some more eggs. Where are the eggs? There we go. And sure. Oh. So anyway, like I said, this thing depends very much on nothing disturbing those chickens. They've got to be right stable, right where we want them. Or if anything disturbs them and they start to wander around, then the eggs won't stay in the machine, and neither will the chickens when they hatch below. So yeah, kinda tricky. Well, this is the part that I'm not entirely sure is going to work in survival mode. I know that survival mode, sometimes mobs can behave a little differently from the way they do in creative mode. I've had some difficulties with that in the past, but fingers crossed. We're going to do one full round of these guys and we'll see what we got. So let's throw the switch. Those guys should all just stay right there. And they better not move. So far, so good. This is encouraging. This is very encouraging. Yeah, they seem to be working. The trick here is they have to believe that there is nowhere around for them to move, and they have to be close enough together that they won't jostle one another. If they're all exactly one on top of the other, then they won't move, and they'll just stand there right in the middle. And it looks like that's working. So let's go ahead and do another batch. Yeah, we're at 100 now. Okay, I don't need any more than that. That's plenty. All right, well, now what we need to do, we need to wait 20 minutes. So when the sun gets right up above that chicken coop, those guys should be all grown up. So it's going to take 20 minutes for those chickens to mature, and probably another 5 for them to start laying eggs. So that's about 25 minutes. Once they start laying eggs, the way this works, once they start laying eggs, they'll fall into that hopper, into the dispenser there, and fire down onto that slab. And again, just as up there they had nowhere to go, down here they have nowhere to go as well. They'll stay there right in the dead center. And then when they mature here, they'll be full height and they'll suffocate in the dispenser, and their meat should fall into that hopper. And as long as they're dead center there on that block and not moved over to the side, when they die, everything should fall into that hopper. But again, this all depends on them not moving anywhere. If they move, then all bets are off. Now, one thing I ought to mention, I tried to build this with a block in place of that piece of glass, and with this comparator on top of that block. Unfortunately, that wouldn't work. The chicks wouldn't stay dead center on the slab when I tried that, and so I had to give that up. Some of you may be going, oh no, this won't work because of that comparator there. Well, this is the very latest snapshot I'm in. This is in week 7A, and although there's probably a new snapshot by the time you're seeing this. The behavior with comparators causing updates was removed, but then it was put back in a very limited way. As long as the comparator is pointing directly at a powered dispenser or a powered dropper, then the dispenser or dropper will get an update. But it has to be pointing directly at it, and I believe it also has to be in its default mode, not in the subtract mode, I think. I haven't played around with it too much, but I do know that this does work in the latest snapshots, and it was deliberately put back in the game, so I suspect it's going to still work when 1.5 comes out. Keep our fingers crossed, huh? Because I would really like for this to keep working. Anyway, we need to come back tomorrow and see if these guys are fully grown. So I guess I'm going to just stand out in this tree, hang around, wait for tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. So I'll talk to you guys in probably about another 45 minutes or so. Hopefully by then we'll actually have things growing in the chicken farm. So I'll talk to you there. Talk to you then. Well, guys, it's the dawning of the second day since we built this thing. We've got full-grown chickens in the top, and we have lots and lots of young chicks there waiting to be hatched. Right in there. I've made a couple of little tweaks here that I'm going to show you. I added item frames here, just because why not? And I added 2 note blocks here, and these note blocks will chime whenever that lamp flashes or whenever that torch flashes. So whenever raw meat comes through the system, whenever we start cooking something, we'll hear a chime, and that'll let us know that the machine is working. So now all we have to do is wait for one of those guys to grow into a full-grown chicken, and that should be happening any minute now. Oh, there we go. That was our first chicken. Our first death. We should have many more following now. At this point, we should have just a constant stream of deaths. Yep, there we go. Come on, give me another one before I move here. All right, well, while we're waiting to watch this machine work, there is one other thing that I wanted to quick talk about. Last episode, oh, there went another one. Ding, ding. Yeah, I love it. All right, well, last episode we had a couple of things happen in the comment blocks that I wanted to real quick talk about before I end this episode. And you know what? I'm going to stand back a bit so that those chickens aren't making quite so much of a noise. We should still be able to hear the chimes from back here, even though we don't hear the chickens. Yep, there we go. We can still hear the chimes. All right, well, let's talk. So last time around, we had a couple of things that happened in the comments below my last video that I wanted to really briefly address. First of all, I know that some of you like to play the game where if you're the first guy to post on a video, you like to post first. Now, personally, I find that to be a really silly and immature game, but it's just a game, and I don't really have a problem with that. Unfortunately, some people do have a problem with that, and last time around, somebody posted a response to someone's first post that was pretty offensive, and certainly quite rude. We don't need that, guys. It's just a game. Let it go. If you don't like something that somebody posts, just downvote it, and that should be enough. Now, I don't want to have to delete those things, but this is a family channel, and I want to keep it clean, and so if you post something that is deliberately offensive, you can expect that I'm probably going to get around to deleting it sooner or later. And if you persist in posting things that are offensive, I might have to ban you from the channel. Now, I don't want to do that, but if that's what it takes, that's what it's going to take. The other event that happened that I was a little more concerned with was somebody posted a comment that could have been considered a racial slur. And guys, I can't tolerate that. We don't need any racism. We don't need homophobia. We don't need any of that kind of stuff here. So please consider when you post, if it's offensive, go somewhere else. I don't need that here. Okay, guys? So let's help keep it a nice, friendly place for people. Remember, there are kids watching, and, you know, let's just make this a friendly place for everybody to be. Anyway, hopefully that's the last I'll have to say on that subject. Well, guys, we are out of time. Our chicken factory is working great. I hear it chiming in the background. That's awesome. And so we'll have to come up with something else to do next week. So anyway, if you liked today's episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then don't. That's fine. But if you did like it, give it a thumbs up because that helps people find my videos, and that's great. If you like what you see here, please subscribe. We're happy to have you here, and I'll look forward to talking to you all again next time.